Hey everybody, it's Victus. Time another run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentant series. Happy Thursday, Mosh Pit. I hope your Thursdays are going off to a great start here. We are waiting for another video across 3,000 likes. And like I said, I'm going to be evaluating whether or not TM Trainer Month is going to be happening or not. Again, people seem like they're really excited, but you know, if it doesn't pan out, I have something in the works that I'm going to replace it with. No, I won't reset the like streak counter, all that kind of good stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because I know that the Mosh Pit is going to bring it back. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by Rob Schilke. Title of the thread was a low-effort meme for the Mosh Pit, and I mean, it is technically a low-effort meme, but you did put a little bit of work on the shading for James, so I'll take it. Planetarium. You know how it is. So thank you very much, Rob Schilke, and everyone who upvoted that one. Let's hop on in and get rocking and rolling. My voice is still pretty iffy right now, but that's okay. C-Day is going to be Bravo Sierra Foxtrot 4, Mike Zulu Yankee Tango. We've got what we got was a torn photo starting off here with good damage as well as Void. I mean, okay movement speed, I get. Okay movement speed, I guess. They saved us a bomb just to show us a locked yellow chest, or golden chest. We got 2 bombs anyway, so take that. Obviously, Void is going to be a spacebar item. It's going to allow us to either consume passive items, or we can copy active items by consuming them. So like, for example, if we were to consume something like, say, Magic Fingers or something like that, we would be able to then get the Magic Finger effect every time that we used Void from there on out for the rest of the run. And it can be very good. Void can give you just random stats, and it's one of those items that you know, has always been good. Obviously, it did get changed a little bit in Repentance, but it's still something. It's still an item that's going to give you value, right? Like, you're always going to be able to get maximum value out of something for almost nothing. You know, if you get a really bad active item, or a really bad, not active item, but a spacebar item, bad passive item that you don't want, you can use Void, and at least it would turn into hearts, or it would turn into stats or something. Good Lord, my brain is all over the place right now, dude. I'm going to open this up. Open her up. So yeah, so it at the very least, you're always going to be able to get some kind of stats from every single item pedestal, even if it's not, even if it doesn't go to the stat that you wanted or something like that. I mean, we can't always get what we want. But I will say that, you know, Void is, to me, Void is more exciting whenever it can take something like Mega, for example, or Mega Mushroom, and turn it into a 6-room cooldown item instead of a 12-room cooldown item. That is where I think the value of Void truly is the most exciting for me anyway. Get Staple here, which is going to give us a nice little boost of damage here. 5.51 for starting damage is pretty darn awesome. Yeah, I do appreciate the understanding with the next couple of days are going to be. I'm just going to be kind of taking it easy. Nothing too crazy. For Isaac. I mean, I know that, you know, we kind of take it easy anyway. Well, not take it easy, but you know, I'm less concerned these days about you know, making sure that the videos are like, you know, we gotta maximize everything here and there, and you know, if I need to rest the voice, I'm just gonna roll with it, you know. That's my right now. It's a great time. It's in the comfort zone of content. We've got Balatro doing still very well. Isaac, of course, is still going to be the bread and butter on the channel, and you know, I'm very content with everything right now. Content with the content, and I think that, you know, having the luxury to be like, you know, hey guys and gals, my voice is kind of like iffy today. Yeah, we're gonna definitely take this. I don't care about the shop. You know, having that luxury and having the majority of people understand is it definitely alleviates a lot of, not concern, but it just alleviates a lot of possible stress on a YouTuber's brain, because there's definitely some times where it's just like, I don't know if we can do this or not. You know, and of course that's nothing to do with the audience, because I mean it's just how the algorithm works. And people have still been asking about the 75% experiment. It's still doing extremely well. Those of you who are still championing the 25% or 75% experiment, thank you very much. It is making an actual huge difference in a lot of the different aspects of the channel. So I appreciate all the effort. Seriously, it is huge. And I knew that the mosh pit was going to be a very perfect spot to run such an experiment. I'm going to use one bomb here just because it's usually is an easy way to get rid of little Steven here. Just got to be careful of the death rattle. Also, of course, the clown physics. Can't forget those. Little Steven was being pushed by Big Steven, which was a little bit new. So we're going to void little Steven here. And we gain damage and shot speed. I'll definitely take that. And Sack Altar is not something that we're going to be copying or taking. So I guess we're going to maybe get an Angel deal to start us off here. But we are also going to get ourselves a good decent amount of stats early on anyway. So going on to last week's question of the episode, the most upvoted comment came in from Vora the Explorer 6442, who said, question for Sin, do you have any this item is terrible but is also fun to use items that you don't take often on the streak but enjoy taking otherwise? So this is going to seem very, very, very hypocritical, but I legitimately enjoy taking items like Damocles and TM Trainer when I'm not worrying about like playing conservatively. I think that the concept, especially particularly TM Trainer, is an item that shouldn't even be possible in a game like this, right? You know, how do you have an item that basically is a generative, almost like a generative AI within the game itself to create these random items based on other things that already exist in the world, and you don't even know, like the game doesn't even know like what they're going to do half the time. That is TM Trainer in particular is definitely the most impressive item that Repentance has added, in my opinion anyway. Now again, I know that's going to sound hypocritical because I don't ever take TM Trainer. It's just too dangerous. But if you don't have to worry about winning or losing or anything like that, then yeah, TM Trainer, you know, is a terrible item, but it's also a fun, really, really interesting item to just have in general. Same thing goes with Damocles. Obviously, Damocles I have taken before, and in certain conditions, I do think that Damocles is legitimately a fantastic option if you're careful. If you have the stats to support taking such a venture, then it's definitely worth it. Or if you like start off with an extra life or something like that, and I definitely think that Damocles is worth going for. But those two items in particular are the ones that instantly come up in my brain whenever I'm like, you know, that's I think those are two very obvious examples for me anyway. And Curse the XL. Another comment that was written. It was the second most upvoted comment, and I can answer as many or as little questions as I want for the question of the day. Obviously, I want to just read people's comments and stuff. But this one caught my eye. This one was sent in from Tragic Tricycle Accident 4993, who said, a long while back you mentioned maybe getting into gardening. Is there going to be any development into that? Or does your hate of vegetables mean that it's not going to happen? I love gardening. I'm just curious. It hasn't happened yet because obviously with the winter time and everything like that, it's not exactly a great time to start growing. I would like to go into gardening because I think that I legitimately would be more interested in eating things that I grew rather than just going to the store. And you know, down here, I think the easiest crop to cultivate. Oh, I'm actually surprised Seagram's not there. You know, something easy would be like I would love to do like fruit gardening or something like that because I love fruit, obviously. But for vegetables in particular, you know, I haven't really thought about it. You know, I think that it'd be cool to make your own pickles. Start off with cucumbers, or maybe even tomatoes. Like, contrary to popular belief, I don't actually hate tomatoes. I think that under the right conditions and right seasoning, I think tomatoes are actually quite good. You know, just a little bit of salt. You know, I've never really had like good sun-dried tomatoes before, but obviously I'm a big fan of ketchup, and you know, ketchup. But yeah, I haven't gotten any progress, or I haven't even begun that. But that would be a fun spring and summer project for sure. The movement speed upgrade here, as well as a nice damage upgrade. Man, Void is really rocking with these damage upgrades. I'm here for it. Get a Rotten Heart. We can take a Rotten Heart. Our damage is high enough to where we can really knock it out of the park here. That is exactly what we needed. We needed a big tears up to go along with our damage ups that we've been getting. So now all we need is range, and we're golden. Much like our tears. I've always thought of the idea of generating your own food as something that's very interesting. You know, you see a lot of the times on the recommended tab, you'll see these YouTubers that like, you know, like here's a quick, easy way for an infinite food hack, and then they show like a potato that they put in the jar. It's like, oh wow, it grew another potato. Whoa! It's like, okay, it's not a new concept. It's like, you know, it's. I mean, it to be fair, it is engaging to watch. But just the idea of like growing your own food was always really cool to me. Not only in real life, but in video games and stuff as well. Like, you know, like that's one of the staples of Minecraft. You know, if you get a stable farm going, like you're set. Like you just get a couple of chickens, a couple of cows, you know, some like some carrots or wheat or something like that, and you're good. Yeah, you're set. You literally do not need food anytime else. And of course, I'm not one who lives off the grid or anything like that, but it would be neat to be able, you know, to have a piece of food, whether it be vegetable, whether it be fruit or anything. It's just like I created this food out of nothing, and now it's mine. You know, I have a family member who raises chickens, and you know, she went from having, you know, like, you know, during the crazy times, the price of eggs was like insane, so she just decided to start growing chickens. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I had no idea that chickens laid as many eggs as they did and as frequently as they did. But she, like, now I don't know how many chickens she has, but she has more eggs than she knows what to do with. Like, she has to give them away. Like, she just straight up gives like farm fresh eggs away. The family members, of course. I mean, she could probably sell them, but she's just doing it just to provide for her family, which is really cool. Like, that's so awesome. So I'd like to do something like that. Not to that scale, obviously. I don't have a place for chickens or anything like that, and I also don't want to take care of animals. But plants, on the other hand, I can take care of some plants. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the chariot card now, just so I don't feel like dealing with a Bumbino. By the way, if you don't know how to move when you use the reverse chariot card, all you got to do is just simply, yeah, we got tears up. All you have to do is simply just tap the movement button, whatever movement key or movement direction, whatever you use to move. Just tap it in one direction. You'll just sort of shuffle past. Yeah, one of my favorite YouTube channels in recent memory is Field Days. I've talked about him before, and Field Days, he and his fiance or partner, I don't actually know if they're married or not. They like live totally off the grid, and it's really, really impressive, especially now that they've got like a kid on the way. You know, they like Field Days, like, you know, he will go out. Ooh, nice. He will go out and fish and that sort of stuff, and also bring with him like stuff they grew in the garden, or like they had like, you know, they had a good like lemon tree or something that produced like a really awesome lemon that he wanted to use for like cooking or whatever in the field. So like that sort of stuff has always really been impressive to me. to be sort of self-sufficient with food like that. And I definitely will never ever get to that spot, but you know, it would be cool to just have a little bit of a taste of food that I'm like, hey, you know what? I got this on my own, you know. I grew this banana myself. Okay, there goes our bone heart. I was trying to get down there to get that red heart, but there you go on that. It's truly incredible how accurate those fissures are every single time. Yeah, we got to stop the bleeding here and get some HP. Our damage is definitely, our damage and tears is good. I'm not going to say it's on point. Our tears rate's on point for sure. But our damage could definitely use a little bit more work. 7.51. Obviously, we got a nice range upgrade there with Mom's heals. Maw of the Void is going to help us out. I would love to get some flying if we can. You know, it's that familiar pitfall with me and Maw of the Void, though. You know, it's an item that gets me into trouble. I always feel compelled to use it every single time I get it, despite the risks, despite the lack of mobility, despite the dangers of going into close-quarter combat with substandard or even mediocre damage. Like right now, I would say that our damage is slightly above par. You know, if you really want Maw of the Void to be effective, you probably want to hover around 10 damage or so. Also, I'm just trying to look for the item room game. Like, does it exist on this? No? Okay. Go ahead and do that. We get a nice range upgrade there in luck. Obviously, we don't care about the charm tiers from Mom's eyeshadow. We can get one... Can we get that golden bomb for free? Yes, we can. One bomb and a golden key. Yeah, I'd like to know if anyone in the mosh pit out there is like living totally, maybe not totally off the grid, but it's like, you know, has like a nice sustainable amount of like food resources. That sort of stuff is very intriguing to me. Malf, you know, like Malf grows his own like peppers and stuff, and not obviously I care nothing about peppers. The best peppers are the ones that aren't used in my food, let's put it that way. But it's still impressive to see like how much goes into growing foods and plants and stuff. And it's, you know, to me that would be like a hobby thing. It wouldn't be like a, oh man, like look how low my carbon footprint is, like thing. I think it's just cool. Agriculture's cool, man. Just gonna let our range kind of do the thing here. It's amazing that we have this much range despite us having number 1. Brownie's really trying hard here. Synth oil, it's our second syringe item. It's gonna be Krampus. Okay. We can void the head of Krampus, I guess. So it's gonna be our first active item that we've slurped up into void. So now every single time we use void, it's going to do the head of Krampus effect. So I have time for boss rush here. If I really, really didn't care about boss rush too much, which I do with Void, obviously, I would have taken the time with that golden bomb to go look for the secret rooms, and you know, and maybe a crawl space if you really want to maximize that kind of stuff. But obviously, you all know that's just not me. Only under the most necessary circumstances will I ever go to that length to get stuff done. Whether it's to survive or to just maximize like, hey, we need damage, or hey, we need stats, or hey, we need soul hearts, that sort of stuff. So very rarely will I ever usually have to do that, but you know, if I have to, I have to, right? But I'm certainly not the world's most premier Isaac min-maxer, nor have I ever claimed to be. No, thank you. It's not for me. I don't choose to play my game that way. As much as people would like me to play their way, I have successfully resisted. Because at the end of the day, it's just a game, man. Isaac's just a game. Game that anyone can play anyway. I've always said people find it, you know, some people find the low risk, aversion to risk playstyle boring, and you know, that's totally fine. Like it's definitely not for everybody. I enjoy it because it keeps me focused. If it was just wild and crazy, like we take all pills and we do this and we do that, I think that honestly, like I wouldn't be nearly as confident in my play as I am with this way. Black mean is black bad. We can get another shot speed upgrade. We need a bomb so we can get the Fool card. That's not it. Our battery void doesn't really do much here. Yeah, we gotta book it here. Go back and get the Fool card. Now is when the time we really need that golden bomb would have been nice. I'm not gonna worry about trying to hit that other skull up there. It's definitely possible it's makeable with one bomb, but with only one bomb, we can't really afford to miss the Fool card right now. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to be one combat short of avoiding boss rush. Definitely going to take the negative here for some damage. Yeah, I mean, the last time we had Rune Bag, actually, Rune Bag was working pretty well. I'm going to go Rune Bag here. I'm down with Rune Bag. Get out of here, Gertie. Again, having a little bit of extra damage here with a negative, it brings us almost to that magical 10-digit damage for Maw of the Void to be really, really upgraded to the next level almost. Definitely want that strength card, so let's go ahead and finish the meme and okay. Got a little Cloddy Gang. I mean, we can take Cloddy temporarily because he'll actually stay with us no matter what. Is that a 3 Skull Monty or is that a Judgment? 3 Skull Monty, okay. But yeah, until he's destroyed, this Clot, even though we don't have the trinket anymore, will still be active with us, which is pretty cool. I feel like it's been forever since we had mapping, like proper mapping. This card doesn't do anything for us here. Remember, if we need to, we can use the Head of Krampus within Void. I've been watching the I've been rewatching the Matrix trilogy, and I hadn't seen those movies in many years. I've always enjoyed the first 3 Matrix movies. The Matrix Resurrected or whatever the hell it was called was not a Matrix movie. That was as much of a Matrix movie as Godzilla 1998 was a Godzilla movie. It was not. And I will stick to that. But outside of that 4th movie, you know, I've always enjoyed the trilogy. Like the Matrix the Matrix franchise, the first three represent like one of those like great eras of movies. You know, like there's certain, I feel like in my mind anyway, because again, I don't go watch a whole lot of movies. But in my mind, like there's been a few different eras of popular movies back in the day, and still continue. Like obviously, like The Matrix was definitely one of those eras. Jurassic Park, obviously. If you want to go back further, which of course I wasn't even around back then. You know, you got Jaws. Jaws was another like the era of the blockbuster, or the very first summer blockbuster. Those kind of movies in general like kind of set the tone for like different, like, you know, they brought some kind of technological advancement in cinematography or like direction or something like that. And it's still like The Matrix still holds up today in my mind anyway. So I mean, so does Jurassic Park, really, like, and of course Jaws. You know, like a lot of the times if I have to say, you know, there's only a few movies in the world that I will say that like I can literally just have on repeat and never get tired of them. Jaws is one of them. Jurassic Park is another. The original Matrix is another. Godzilla Minus One definitely is one. You know, Aliens, Terminator 2, I would say, more so than Terminator 1. Those movies, Predator, like the original Predator, all of those movies are just iconic to me. Go to 68%. I am gonna get another range upgrade though. I'm not gonna avoid it. Getting away from sci-fi, like, you know, Scarface, and I'll be honest, I'm very okay with sharing this. I have only seen bits and pieces of The Godfather. I've never actually seen the entire movie, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I've seen it when I haven't. Again, I'm not a big movie guy. Soul of Isaac. I mean, the Soul of Isaac might be okay, but it's not something that we're going to take into the Devil deal because we need the strength card to take the actual deal itself. But, you know, Godfather is one of those, it's one of those things that people are like, you've got to see this. It's a masterpiece, blah, 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 blah. And anytime I hear that, it makes me want to see it less. I don't know what type of personality that makes me, but the same thing holds true for, like, you know, people's popular anime recommendations. Like, so many people told me I got to see JoJo, and I'm like, due to the sheer overwhelming amount of people who tell me I need to see something, it makes me not want to see it. And if I do eventually watch it, I'll probably like deliberately just not like it. Like I'll find stuff to like point out just because people have been telling me it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So yeah. And like I feel like I would probably do the same thing with like The Godfather. Same thing goes with like, you know, I started watching The Sopranos, and so far Sopranos is you know, it's pretty good, but I haven't watched all of it yet. It's one of those times where I'm like, yeah, if I'm in a binging mood, like I'll start trying to catch up on Sopranos episodes and stuff, but it's not really a huge, like, I gotta do this type thing for me. I'd say another one of those, like, sort of like era films is definitely 300. You know, it may not be like the most like iconic film out there, but definitely for like the stylized and for like what it brought to the movie theaters and everything and what it led to, I would easily say it's one of those like era defining movies out there, because like it spawned so many other different styles of movies. Let's go back and get the Soul of Isaac here. Now that we have Empty Vessel, we'll have a little bit of flying. Sort of alleviates... Okay, well, I guess I'm just not allowed to open that then. Alleviates the worry of using Maw of the Void in close quarter combat here. Obviously very happy to have Eye of Belial. We don't really have enough money to make Hush's shop worthwhile. But I'll go fight him because we do have Void off of cooldown. Okay, well, we might have enough money now to make some use out of it. From the Vampire, it's a damage up. Not a significant one, but it brings us over 10. Lost Soul Buddy. We can take Lost Soul Buddy. Well, let's see. Let's use the Soul of Isaac. Let's see what this turns into. Or we can actually wait. We can wait till we get to the Dark Chest and use the Soul of Isaac, which is kind of a hefty commitment, but okay, never mind. E-Twanky. I think we'll stick with Lost Soul Buddy. Check him out now. So at the end of the day, it probably wasn't worth it to come down here, but you never know. Maybe Lost Soul Buddy lives and pays out. Yeah, the Matrix trilogy definitely holds up. I remember as a kid, I was obsessed with the Matrix, the first Matrix movie. I was like, I want to be Keanu Reeves, man. Sort of kicked off this whole, like, you know, cyberpunk-ish, like, everyone's a hacker phase back in the day. Never forget that viral clip of, you can still find it on YouTube. It actually showed up in my recommended not that long ago, where it's like these dudes from that era who are like dressing up as hackers, and they went on the local news and then got interviewed. It's so cringe. It's so cringe, but like an endearing, like hilariously bad way. That's why like when I did used to work like BlizzCon and stuff, and that was the only real convention I ever went to. It was always cool to interact with people who enjoyed the same type of stuff that you did. You know, whether it be video games or like a particular game or like Blizzard titles back in those days. You know, the nerds were always fun to be around. 99% of the time. Sometimes it gets... sometimes it's like, okay, somebody here didn't wear deodorant today, and I think it's hard to pinpoint which one. I cannot put on a shirt without wearing deodorant, man. Like, I just... Not that, like, I not like stink or anything, but, like, I just feel clean when I'm wearing deodorant. Same thing goes for like showering too before bed. I cannot sleep without taking a shower. I will feel dirty if I get in bed and I haven't showered. I'm pretty obsessive over it. Like if I have to, like, if I'm like, oh, I forgot to like take something out to the trash or whatever, but I've already showered, I will take something out to the trash and then have to shower again before I can be comfortable enough to sleep. Or at least attempt to sleep anyway. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but that's just how my brain works. I didn't choose it. We just no-hit Hush. How about that? How about that? A little no-hit of old Hushy. Another very commentary-heavy episode today. But I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about with this run. I mean, we've accomplished everything that we needed to. We needed to get above 10 damage from all the Void to really lay the smackdown on the game, and we've been doing that. Void we haven't really needed for a while now. I was going to use it just to use it. Get rid of the eye lasers. We're not going to get Guppy, unfortunately. We have a wicked haircut, though. I did get a haircut this week. I know. It was a chance encounter that, like, I went to go get lunch, and I just happened to see this barber shop. I was like, man, I was just thinking about how great it would be if I had a regular barber who like if like he did like beards and like and that sort of stuff, like, you know, give me like a good, it's like a good trim on the beard, like maybe like a clean shave every now and then. That would be great. And then lo and behold, like I randomly find this, I find this barber shop that like I had no idea existed. Like, and I was like, oh man, this feels proper. You know, this feels like it was designed to happen. And I asked the barber to not take too much off the top, but I wanted to get stuff like evened out. And he did take a little bit more than I was intending to take off the top there, because he cut it kind of short. But it also made me realize that, like, man, I missed not having hair in my eyes. So even though he didn't get the memo of like, hey, don't take too much off the top, just even it up, I'm actually like okay with it. And also my beard looks really good. I will admit, like I've never had my beard professionally like trimmed or cut before. Like I've always just kind of done it at home. But when I was looking at myself in the mirror when I was driving home, and I was like, man, like that beard looks good. Because I don't do anything special for my beard. Like I don't use beard oil or anything like that. I don't condition it. It's just hair. And the same thing goes for like my the hair on my head. Like I don't use conditioner, and you know I was getting like split ends and tangles every now and then, but I've never cared about my hair enough to even do anything like that. And maybe that's not the right attitude, but it was annoying. Now my hair is still long, like it's still pretty long, but it's not. We don't need any of these. It's nowhere near as long as it was last week at this time. And I'm honestly okay with it too. Like it needed to be evened out. So I still plan on growing it out, but I don't think I'm going to go as extreme as I was planning on it early. You know, Mama Victa, obviously she wanted me to grow out my hair, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Cuz like everybody, like every person that I know loves my hair being long. Like they freaking love it. They're like, oh, you have beautiful hair. And I'm like, I'm so used to buzzing it. I'm just like, I don't care about my hair. So anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. Very commentary heavy episode, but like I said, I'm going to be spending the next couple of days just kind of resting my voice here. Trying to make sure the cough doesn't come back too. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below, and thank you, everyone. Make sure you're posting those questions of the episode. I love reading them, and I love responding to them. I like this new format. I'm glad that people have been latching onto it as well. And yeah, have a great start to your early weekend here in the Mosh Pit. And as always, see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Pop-Up Pro, Happy B-Day Nash, and Dershooty01. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of the Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.